I don't want to do this like, okay, 6 figures, like I made 100K and then go to 200K and then 300K. I just want to blow past it all and go straight to $1 million. Celebrate my Superbloom year. This can be, I don't care how old you are, this can be your Superbloom year as well. Hey there, welcome to the Superbloom Coach Podcast, the show for life coaches ready to 10x their business and bloom into undisputed thought leadership status. I'm Moriah, Riona, an award-winning brand designer and certified life coach. I've spent over a decade helping incredible female entrepreneurs like you build luxurious, high-end brands that stand out and attract their dream clients. Each week, I share the latest branding strategies, business growth tips, and personal insights to help you elevate your coaching business and thrive. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale to new heights, this podcast is your roadmap to becoming a luxury thought leader in your niche. Get ready to learn, grow, and make an impact with the Superbloom Coach Podcast. Let's go. Hello, Coach. Welcome to the very first episode of Superbloom Coach. I am so excited that you're tuning in. This podcast has been on my brain, sort of on my vision board for a long time, but it's taken a while to get it out into the world. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted this podcast to be about. I knew that I wanted a podcast for coaches to help them build their brands and build their businesses, but that wasn't specific enough for me. So I sort of let it marinate, let it simmer in the background for several years. And then this really amazing thing happened. I became a certified life coach through the Life Coach School with Brooke Castillo, my hero. I got to work with her and an amazing group of 24 other women who were all becoming certified as coaches in Miami earlier this year. It was such a transformative experience, and I'm really excited to share that with you, probably in another episode. When I was coming home from that experience from practicum in Miami and becoming a certified life coach, on the plane, it just sort of came to me as a download almost. I had this aha moment where I realized, oh, I know what this podcast is supposed to be. And it was more than just a podcast. So I'm so excited to share that with you. And the whole vision behind Superbloom. I'm obviously recording this ahead of time, but on the day that this goes live, it will be August 6th, which will be my 40th birthday. I was coming home from Miami from becoming a certified life coach. And on the plane, I just had this vision of my 40th year. I had always sort of dreamed of hitting $1 million in my business by the time I was 40, or specifically in my 40th year. But as the years ticked by, it seemed to me to become less and less of reality. So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. And for those of you who are new to me and new to my brand, I've been a luxury brand designer for years now. I've had a luxury brand studio, and I also do luxury brand strategy coaching for female entrepreneurs. I had always sort of clung to this 6-figure ideal. I think it's really popular, in our circles and on social media. People were talking a lot about hitting 100K, hitting 6 figures. So I did that. I worked really hard, and I realized that through life coaching, I was able to achieve that through the mindset work that I had done. That was incredible. But what happened was I didn't dream any bigger. It was kind of crazy. I got stuck at 6 figures. And so I've basically made 6 figures for the last 3 years around the 100K mark, but not grown. As I kept approaching 40, I thought, oh, well, how am I going to hit my $1 million goal by the time I'm 40? And that brings me to the creation of the Superbloom podcast and my Superbloom year. Let me tell you a bit about my background and how I got into luxury branding. I was actually a wedding photographer for 10 years. And while I was building my wedding photography business, I realized, unlike a lot of my peers in the space, I really enjoyed the business side of things. A lot of the other photographers that I knew, they really just wanted to go out and shoot weddings and shoot sessions and not really deal with the building the business side of things. But I had stumbled upon this concept of branding early in my photography career as I was trying to build my business. And I just became obsessed, so obsessed that I did make an embarrassing DIY logo and brand and website, but I really fell in love with that almost more than the photography. I decided to go back to school at the age of 26 and get a degree in graphic design. I knew I wanted to work on brands and build websites. So that's what I did. After I graduated, I worked for a marketing firm for about 18 months. And it was a really great experience for a young designer, but I was the only female in the office. It was all guys. All of the clients were very sort of masculine vibe. It was finance, tech, health tech sort of industries. And the design was just not my style. It was very masculine, but it was a great experience. I learned a lot there. But I decided to go out on my own again. I had kept my photography business going through all of that, through school and through this new career. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go back out on my own. I'll build my business again as a wedding photographer slash brand designer for female entrepreneurs. Well, it didn't go as planned. I really struggled. I struggled to get my business going. And what I came to realize was after a few years of trying to do both, I wasn't taking my own advice. I was speaking to two different audiences, two different ideal clients. I really needed two different brands. I had brides and I had entrepreneurs. And so what happened was I found a coach, a wedding photography coach, who was going to help me with my marketing so that I could get my weddings back up. I remember preparing for my first coaching call with this wedding photography coach, a famous wedding photographer. And I remember my husband saying, "What if he tells you to stop shooting weddings?" And I thought, no, I said to him, "No, you're crazy. He won't say that. He's a wedding photography coach. He's helping me build my wedding photography business." So it was a few days later, and I got on the call with this coach. And the first thing he said to me was, "Why are you still shooting weddings?" And I was shocked. It was what I needed to hear. And isn't that what coaches do for us? They tell us what we already know. We need to sort of hear it and get that sounding board and that outside perspective. So he said to me, he said, "I can teach you about marketing and branding, but like you already know all that stuff. The problem is you're trying to pursue this thing and spreading yourself too thin. And really, you should be going in one direction, the branding direction." So I sat with that for a few days and I decided he was right. And I did a massive overhaul of my business. I rebranded. I kept the same name, but I made a huge announcement and redid the brand design and the website. Within a few months, I launched and said, "Hey, I'm retiring as a wedding photographer. I'm just doing brand design, brand strategy, and website design for female entrepreneurs." And my business absolutely took off. It was crazy because I had gotten so clear on the messaging around my business. It was drawing in the right people. There was no more confusion. I finally, like I said, took my own advice. And so that worked really well for me. And what happened was because I had known the wedding photography industry so well, I ended up having mostly clients who were female wedding photographers because I was able to build their brands and help them launch their businesses. So I did that for a while. And then I got this client who was a life coach. And I remember when she reached out to me and I was so confused. I didn't understand what a life coach was. I didn't know what life coaches did. I ended up working with her and I remember we worked together for almost a year. And I was still like, I don't know what this lady does. I don't know what a coach does. I started hearing more and more. And by the way, this is one of my favorite clients who still works with me today, Karen. She is amazing, and I'm so grateful for her. She's been an amazing client, but also she really helped me learn about life coaching and, sort of seeing what she was doing. I was just fascinated. So I was hearing about it on that end. And then sort of in my entrepreneurial circles, hearing about getting a business coach and just coaching in general. That is about the time that I discovered Brooke Castillo, the founder of the Life Coach School, and I joined her program, Self-Coaching Scholars. And I learned about her framework, her coaching framework that she calls the model. And it absolutely changed my life. Hey, Superbloom coaches, let's take a quick break. This episode is sponsored by my exclusive Luxury Brand Leader program. If you're serious about elevating your coaching business, then you have to check this out. Luxury Brand Leader is your chance to work with me one-on-one to totally transform your brand and realign your business for exponential growth. This is the only logo and website design program designed exclusively for coaches that builds your luxury brand and sets you up as the go-to leader you were born to be. Imagine a complete 360-degree luxury brand transformation done in just 90 days. You'll get personalized coaching, cutting-edge strategies, and the exact steps you need to become an unstoppable force in your industry. When you become a luxury brand leader, you can finally start to attract clients who daydream about working with you, and they're willing to pay the big bucks to make it happen. Imagine being able to unapologetically raise your rates, magnetize high-paying clients, create a captivating personal brand, and showcase your high-value expertise. Are you ready for a branding experience that will revolutionize how you show up in your business? Apply to become a luxury brand leader today at MoriahRiona.com. Remember, spots are limited and they fill up fast. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to transform your business. Apply now. So to circle back, that is how I got my business to where it was. I started focusing on coaches at that point because I think I worked with Karen. I had more coaches come my way and I just loved what they were doing. And because I was learning myself as a client what coaching was all about, I just really fell in love with the coaching industry and what they do for people, how I truly believe that coaches make the world a better place. And so it's been such an honor to build all these brands for coaches over the years. And because I loved it so much, when the opportunity came up for me to get life coach certified with my hero, my coach, Brooke Castillo, I jumped at it. I made it happen. As a certified life coach, I thought now is the time to launch my podcast. And like I said, I was coming back on the airplane and it just came to me, this idea of Superbloom. I'm coming up on my 40th year. Like I said, today, the day that you're listening to this, is my 40th birthday. And I thought, so many women approach 40, they're afraid of it. We're not very nice as a society to women as they get older. We sort of push them aside. We say they're irrelevant, and I disagree. Some of my favorite mentors and truly inspiration have been women who are 10, 20, 30 years older than me, and I want more of those voices heard. So I thought, why not brand my 40th year and make it something to celebrate? Because I know other women are not excited to turn 40, but I am. I, at Practicum, finally spoke the words out loud during a coaching session. What we did at Practicum, which was 5 days of becoming a certified life coach, we, as my coach Brooke said, we coached our faces off. We got coached, we coached each other. It was coaching all day, working the model all day for 5 days straight. It was exhausting in the best way possible. By the very end of Practicum, the very last practice that we did, Brooke had us split off into groups of 2, and we were going to coach each other again. And this time the goal was to choose our goal for our business and get coached on it. During this coaching session, when I was getting coached by my very good friend now, Sarah, I decided, I actually spoke out loud, instead of I want to make $1 million in my 40th year, I said, I will make $1 million in my 40th year. And that change from I wish or I want to I will was everything to me. It felt so empowering. In the life coach school method, in Brooke's method, we learn about the model, and it's all about your thoughts. And just that small mindset shift, that small shift of the thought from it being hopeful to it being certain, it was so powerful for me. And so my good friend Sarah coached me on it, and she actually helped me come up with a plan. And we talked about, this was April, my birthday is in August, how I actually had this ramp of 4 months to start working towards this goal. And my goal was to make $1 million in revenue in my business between August 6th of 2024 and August 6th of 2025. So very specific. I was thinking about this on the plane ride home, this goal I had, and feeling so energized. And I thought, why not celebrate this year, this Superbloom year? It just came to me. And I love this concept of a Superbloom. So I was actually living in California a few years ago, and I remember everybody was talking about the Superbloom. And it's this like phenomenon where there's just this abundance of flowers, wildflowers that bloom sort of all at once. And it just totally transforms the landscape. If you're curious, you can just Google super bloom and see like these hillsides of like orange and purple, and just it's so vibrant. And I thought, why not embrace that whole concept and brand my 40th year, something I really want to celebrate and not hide from, as my super bloom year. I was, on the plane ride back and thinking about this whole concept, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is the perfect concept for my podcast. I really want to talk about this idea of 10xing your business or your life. And when I was getting coached on this by Sarah and also by Brooke throughout the program, I had told her, through the model and the mindset work, I was able to hit 6 figures, but then I got stuck there. I don't want to do this like, okay, 6 figures, like I made 100K and then go to 200K and then 300K. I just want to blow past it all and go straight to $1 million. That's not the typical advice that you get from entrepreneurs and business coaches. But Brooke loved the idea. She told me that it was really great because it would really push me. And that's why I really like this idea too, jumping to that next level. And we talked a lot about how I'll sort of have to become a different person, because Brooke talks a lot about how you can hustle your way to that next level, right? Like if I was just like, I figured out how to get to 100K. So if I wanted to get to 200, I could just hustle my way there, just work harder. But that's not a scalable business model. She really loved this idea, and I did too, of 10xing my business, jumping straight to 1 million, adding a zero to the end of my revenue. Because in the process, I would have to coach myself so hard and become a different person, go from being a 6-figure business owner to a 7-figure business owner. And the mindset and all the drama and just all the self-doubt and all the things I would have to work through are really going to push me to that next level as a business owner, but also as a human being. I'm very excited for that. And I'm so excited to share this journey with you. I imagine this podcast is going to go beyond the first year, but this first year, I'm going to be sharing my story about how I'm going to hit $1 million in revenue in my business. And you know what? It might not happen. Like, let's be honest, I might fail. That's a very real possibility. I don't know how to make $1 million. I'm going to have to figure it out this year, and I might not figure it out. But I can tell you one thing, I've already made way more than $100,000 in my business this year. I've contracted, we're in July, and I've contracted over $300,000 in my business. So just this mindset shift is already changing the way I'm showing up in my business and the growth of my business. So I might fall short, but I still will have grown so much more than if I had stayed comfortable. I'm so glad you're here, and I want to invite you on this journey with me to 10x your business, 10x your life, whatever that means to you. If it's hitting your first 10K in your business, that's amazing. Let's get there together. If it's hitting your first 6-figure, hitting your first 8-figure, wherever you're at, I want to encourage you to not stay comfortable and not hustle to that next step, but blow past it. Life is short. Coming up on year 40 for me, my Superbloom year, I realized that life is ticking by. It's finite. And for a long time, 40 was out there, and I said, yeah, I'll hit $1 million when I'm 40. But now I'm looking at 40 and I haven't hit $1 million. So I need to do something about it. That's what I'm doing. And I want to invite you to do the same, whatever those goals are or dreams that you've had that you haven't been taking massive action on yet. That's what this is for. So join me. I'm so excited to super bloom together, celebrate my super bloom year. This can be, I don't care how old you are, this can be your super bloom year as well. And one more exciting thing I have going on, it's the end of July right now. It's July 26th. In about a week, I will be traveling to Tucson, Arizona for the launch party for this podcast. We are having a weekend-long event at the Ritz-Carlton outside of Tucson, Arizona with some of my favorite coach friends, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to share that whole adventure with you. And yeah, it's a launch party for my Superbloom year. So it's my 40th birthday party. How I got here to throwing myself this massive 40th birthday party and launch party for my 40th year. So I'm excited to share that with you because that is something I never would have done before getting coaching. I didn't feel like I deserved a birthday party. I didn't think I could throw myself a birthday party, and I got coached on it. And I am going to share the whole experience with you on this podcast. And hopefully you will throw yourself an epic birthday party as well because you deserve it. I'm excited for you to tune in on this podcast. We are going to be talking about 10xing your business and your life, whether that is, tips and advice from me as a luxury brand designer and certified life coach. I'm going to be having some amazing life coaches come on and interview them and share their stories so that you can learn from them as well. Thanks for listening to this episode of Superbloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. If you enjoyed today's episode, I know you'll love my free course, 5-Figure Clients, the secret to attracting high-ticket coaching clients. Inside, I'll show you how I went from attracting bargain hunter clients to exclusively booking clients at a 5-figure price point. If you're ready to start working with clients who understand the tremendous value you bring to the table and to stop working with clients who don't, then this course is for you. Over 4 days, you'll learn why offering a high-ticket service is better for you and your client, how to craft your irresistible high-ticket offer that practically sells itself, and the 2 things you need to convey in order to sell high-ticket services. Also, how to position yourself as a luxury brand leader so you can charge a premium for your top-notch services. Sign up now at mariahriona.com/free-course and start attracting those high-ticket clients today. Don't miss out on this valuable opportunity to elevate your coaching business. Get instant access to your first lesson. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to Superbloom Coach so you never miss an episode. We've got some incredible content lined up to help you 10x your coaching business and achieve your dreams. If you found value in today's episode, can you do me a quick favor and leave a review? Your feedback helps me reach more coaches like you who are ready to elevate their business. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.